In this video, I'd like to look at how to write a good research report introduction, what you should be including. And to do this, I'd like to use the analogy of a jigsaw. Imagine you entered a room and someone passed you a piece of jigsaw. How would you feel? Some of you might politely take it and say thanks, but you would probably be confused. Why is somebody trying to give you a piece of jigsaw? And why do you want it? You might even try to discreetly drop it. It's the same with writing research project introductions. Sometimes it can be tempting to start with our research aims and objectives. We've spent so much time researching something that we want to get straight to the detail of our work. But this doesn't mean that our reader is ready to be suddenly hit with that information, or that they even care. Let's go back to the jigsaw analogy. For the jigsaw piece to have meaning and relevance, we need to understand the bigger picture. This might be a case of seeing the task, building the jigsaw, or it might mean understanding what we're trying to make by seeing the picture on the box. It's the same with the research report introductions. Often it's good to start by setting the context, which is usually the real world need or a real world problem. So you're starting where people are at. Having understood the context, you might move on to looking at what jigsaw pieces are down so that you can work out what pieces you're looking for. Likewise, having set the real-world context, a research report introduction usually says something about what is already known. Often in the introduction, this won't be very long, as you will go into more detail in the literature review, but it is usually there. Finally, you look at the gaps in the jigsaw so that you know what pieces you need to complete it. Similarly, having set the real-world context and briefly stated what is known, you need to identify research gaps. This is extremely important. If there's no gap, there's no need for your research. Now that you know the context, the task, the pieces that are already down, and seen the gaps, now if somebody passes you the jigsaw piece that fills one of those gaps, you're likely to be pleased. It's the same with a research project. The purpose of the introduction is to justify your research. The content should be chosen so that by the time your reader reaches your aims and objectives, the reader wants your research. There's a real problem that needs solving and a gap that needs to be filled, and your research should be what we're looking for.